Hello, welcome to Breakaway with Dawn and Friends. This week I have the male version of Dating in Your 40s. I welcome Henry, Mr. AKA Henryisms.
Yes, here I am.
So, full disclaimer Henry is my husband's friend. So, don't judge me by the company I keep because, this is my husband's friend. Okay. So last week we had Miss AKA Zombie Vixen. That's my friend. But this time around we're gonna choose the male version. So Henry is in his 40s. He is dating or he's single and single and mingling. So we're gonna have this from the male version.
Yeah, the right version.
Oh,
the logical version. Let me say that.
Oh.
Not with the feelings. But this is just a disclaimer. This is my opinions. If you get upset or feel like you are
Generalized or
whatever,
judged or what?
If you get upset, sorry,
Offended.
But it is what it is. So
that's why I named him Henryisms.
Yeah. Unapologetic.
So, Henry.
Yes, ma'am.
You are in your 40s and you're dating.
Dating-ish, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've had a previous marriage.
Yeah.
You had some kids. You guys were together for a while. And you've also now been single for a while.
For a while. Long while.
And I think you're old-fashioned, or I don't know what kind of fashion, but you're definitely not with the new technology and the way people are dating now.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily say old-fashioned, but I'm
Gen X, I keep it Gen X, like I'm personal, face to face, like over the line and everything, like how you try to feel a vibe. I don't understand that, I need to see you, see the, reaction in your face, everything, to see how things are going, but it's a little tough. It's a little tough, it's hard to meet women out there, good women, especially when you're looking in the wrong places.
Yeah, I mean, last episode she talked about getting catfished, and people just not being honest.
Yeah.
Right, and I your honesty can be brutal.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not brutal. It's just the truth. I mean, like if you're not, what I'm saying, like if you want something from the relationship, be honest with it and be upfront with it, and especially like with like you say, with the catfish and all that stuff. Like, hey, if you think you're ugly, like you have to work on that. Like I think I call myself pretty, so
yes, he does.
But if you don't feel like you're pretty, you need to find your prettiness in yourself, before you can,
That's true.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I've always said that you have to, in order to love someone else, you have to love yourself.
For sure.
And if you're in a relationship without love within inside, you're not going to have a loving relationship.
You're not, and it's hard for people to find that, like one of the toughest things to do is to be alone and be by yourself and find yourself,
and that's the journey you're on.
That is, I have found myself though, but it's trying to accept it, what I'm saying, and
yeah. So I should say you're choosing to be single, like
yeah. But I'm on the verge to just get out and meet again, and I don't know about the online dating, but just when I'm out to start approaching instead of not saying anything, but we'll see, because a lot of my friends are married, so it's hard to have a wingman when they're married, so it's it's a process. It's a process, but it's fun. It's fun.
Life is short as long as you're enjoying it.
Yeah, you gotta enjoy it.
Right.
Like it's if you're not having fun in life, like you're not doing the right thing. You're not doing something. Especially when you get out of school and you realize it's only work and play, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it get kind of in that monotony of just working and working and not having time for yourself and letting yourself go and And if you're in a relationship, it's even worse, because you're dealing with two people's, insecurities.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So, do you have some insight that
Um,
you want to provide here, or am I just gonna free ball it like as I normally do?
yeah, just free ball. I'll throw them in when I get there.
Okay. So I do want to say I do look at my demographics and my analytics,
Uh,
and they are women, by the way. Most of my listeners are women,
okay.
and
Hello,
they're
ladies. I am single.
Mr.
Looking
Pretty.
looking for Mrs. Right.
There you
Or looking
go,
for Mrs. Pretty.
Mrs. Pretty. um, and they're within our age group
Okay.
and above. So I always wonder with the listeners, the audience that I have. I don't know, obviously, if they're single, if they're ready to mingle, if they're in a long-term relationship, a new relationship. I just know, as a woman in my 40s, you really do know who you are. Like
I mean,
you have this. I know who I am. Like it or leave it, right? I mean, that's what I feel where I'm at in life.
where you're at, yes.
Me,
a
yes.
lot of women don't have that security, I guess, or confidence, that they know who they are, and they're still waiting for a man to.
So is that what you think you're seeing right now?
With women, I mean, women do
Yeah.
need a man to complete themselves,
Here
like
we go.
in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Here
There
we
is
go.
independent, strong women, yes, but they
Mannerisms are coming out.
they have women need that verification from a man.
That validation. Sorry. So
Validation.
you are talking to the wrong woman, because I have
Like I said,
always told my
most
husband.
women.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. I've always told my husband, I don't need you. I want you.
Yeah.
You want a woman to want you and not need you.
Of course.
But that strokes a lot of men. They can't deal with that.
They can, and that comes when ladies don't let them still be the man in the
Let
relationship.
them. Oh my God, I can't.
No,
I
no.
can't.
You gotta. It's a two-way street. It's letting a woman be a woman, letting a man be a man. I'm not saying it's a one-way street, but some women, when they have the, I'll say, like, the financial power over the relationship, they want to use it as a, I'm the boss. I'm the, what I'm saying, like, and have the demanding hand when.
No.
You gotta play your role in a relationship. A man has to be a man, a woman has to be a woman. I'm not saying that you have to cook, clean, all that stuff. I'm not saying all that. All I'm saying is you have to have that. Let a man feel like a man.
See, I just cannot with that. I cannot. So let me tell you, I have always been fortunate to be independent. So the people that listen and that have listened to my episodes know that I had to grow up fast and be independent. Okay. But when I hear, let a man be a man, that's his place. Like, I just, that doesn't sit well with me, because a man raised me to be independent and not to depend on a man.
Okay, I'm not saying you have to.
No. I'm right. Okay. So, but I don't feel it's my job to make a man feel like a man.
Why
It's not.
Of course it is.
No,
Just like it's a man's job to make a woman feel like a woman.
I don't agree with that. I really don't. I know you hear that a lot, but I don't agree with that. I am who I am, with or without you, and I will be who I am with or without you. So you either add to my life or you're not, you need to go.
I mean, I agree with that. I'm the same way. Where, like, if you're not adding to my existence, then why are you here? I would just, at that point, then we're just like, saying.
Right.
But you'd have to accept that for what it is. You know what I'm saying?
And the whole money thing, like, I'm sorry. Again, I've always been fortunate to earn my own money and not rely on a man in any way, unless I wanted it emotionally or physically. Okay. So the money thing, because I have been taught the value of a dollar at a young age and have been on my own, it's not something that matters to me. It's not like, oh, I hold the power, I make the say, I have the money. It's not. I don't know. I don't know.
You don't, but
You're supposed
it's
to be in a partnership. This is, we are partners. It is
yes.
50-50. So let me tell you, as hard as I work, money is 50-50. But then guess what? So is the house chores. So are the responsibilities. And that's how I would like to say that that's my relationship is, he takes care of the kids as much as I do.
Yeah, no, as in your relationship, personally,
Yes.
from me
Yes.
outside in, yes, I see that. I'm not saying you personally, you know what I'm saying, but I have seen other
I know, but I can
relationships.
only speak on myself and you
Of
can only
course.
speak on, right?
Of course, but I have seen in other relationships where women just like they want to talk down to the man and be like, like you ain't doing this and that, like you're nothing, this and that, like and demean him just because, but he's doing his job as a dad and taking care of the kids, like he's doing all this stuff for the kids, and they're not seeing that because I have the money, which I don't see that in you.
No, I
Truthfully,
know.
I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in other relationships, I have seen it. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm like,
And I don't understand that. I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with it, and I don't know how the man just sits there and lets it happen. Like,
Because
you
if
gotta
that's what,
stand up and be like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying, and have this conversation that we're having.
yeah,
Like, hey, this is a 50-50, and
yes,
you
because
accept it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't work a full-time job and take care of kids.
Yeah.
Like, but it's not the hardest job in the world. Like when we trying to say, like taking care, you know what I'm saying? It's taking care of kids. You know,
Yeah.
it's a stressful job, and you have a lot of stuff to do.
It's
but
demanding.
but it's doable. You know what I'm saying? But women don't see that on the other side. You know.
Well, I'm sorry, women.
Most women.
Okay, fine.
Not all women.
So let's just speak on your level. So women, the life coach in me is going to tell you if you say those things to your partner and you're in that relationship, then you need to exit. Because if I have to tell my partner that you're not what you just said, you're not pulling your weight, you're not nothing, you're not doing this, why am I with you?
Yeah.
Like it's a partnership. Yes, if I'm demeaning him, if I'm putting you down and saying these negative things about you, like I don't understand that with people, whether it's a man or a woman. I don't understand that.
Sure.
So.
And the men that bring home money have a different problem too. Like. So I'm not saying that it's just women.
True.
Not just saying this, y'all. Men have a whole nother thing, where they control, cheat, all that stuff. Like it's it's a whole other thing. But for me, it's talking about how women are in that situation. But as for me and my situation, it's just it's hard to find a real woman out here because how society has created the minds of everybody, where it's all flash and this and it's not necessary. Like it's not important in life, but people put that in as I need instead of trying to find
I want.
Yeah,
You need not. I need.
Yes.
I want.
That is true.
Yes.
And people don't know what people lost what love is. You know what I'm saying? Like if I asked you, like, how do you spell love? How would you spell love?
Oh, you're funny. L-O-V-E.
L-O-V-E. No, you don't spell love. You feel love. It's a feeling. It's a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's an emotion. So love is something that I don't know. A lot of people haven't been loved.
Now, if you said, Dawn, what is love? Then I would have said that's a feeling and an emotion. But you said how you spell it. But that's tricky. Okay.
But it's the whole thing where people don't understand love because they haven't been loved right. You know what I'm saying? And and some people think love is physical and like I've been in a relationship where women try to be like pushing on, pushing and why don't you hit me? Like, why am I hitting you? Like,
what?
Yeah, like you don't love me. Like I don't love you. I love you. That's why I didn't hit you. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But you can see just like how society and how people are and how people are so insecure with themselves and they don't have.
I know you're saying society, but
it's.
I dabble in the inner child a lot, and I have those types of conversations. So I know you say society, and I'm not going against that per se, but I actually think it has a lot to do with your inner child and what you've experienced as a child, what you've seen, your parents' relationships, because if you show that it's normal to hit a woman, then a woman is going to think that that's okay or that's the norm, right?
And for truth, women have a very harder time growing up. They have so much more, because how men are. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy to see how much abuse, sexually, physically, everything that has happened to women when you talk to them and get into there. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's unfortunate how common it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is, again, that inner child, and these are things I always talk about is, we all process and deal with things differently.
But as a child, how do you process it?
You don't. I know. And that's the thing. I can tell you, for me, I don't know how well of you are a part of my audience, but, I have shared that I would remove the emotions from the situation to protect myself. That's how my brain and my mind are, protected myself, wanting to protective mode and remove the emotions, right? Because emotions are attached to feelings and memories. And so protecting myself is I remove the emotion. And so that's not necessarily good.
No,
so that protected me.
Men deal with stuff is removing that emotion from it and just putting it back there like it was still.
And so isn't that funny, right? Yeah. So yes, so I would remove the emotion from it so that in my mind that can't hurt me, that can't faze me, that can't touch me, because I'm not going to let myself feel that, right?
Yeah.
So then I go through life like that. And I can light switch people on and off out of my life. Like that is how I am even till today. We all know who's not in my life anymore, family or friends, right? So I just find that interesting. So when you say society, I'm not saying that's not true, but I do feel when I see things like that, I just wonder, what did they experience in life? And what was their relationship like with their mom or their dad? Because my mom was very codependent upon my dad. And my dad would raise us, don't be like that. Don't depend on a man, whatever. Yeah. So, and I've always appreciated what he has shown me and taught me. And for 35 years, I didn't think my mom taught me anything. Like I would always give my dad all the credit. But then I realized, oh my God, she showed me what not to be. Because I vowed I will not be like that. I will not depend or be codependent upon a man. And I'm not.
But what you have is to deal with what your situation is, and still have that love, because it's not, everything's not perfect, but you still show your love and you still have that, you still cling on to, just like she did, So you did take something from her,
Oh, again, I'm saying I couldn't see that.
Yeah.
Right? I'm saying, so it took me 35 years to see that. You know what I mean?
Took them both,
yeah, that I have. Yes, right.
And that's the same way my mom, she taught me everything, like sewing, cooking, cleaning, like you don't need a woman to survive. You can survive on your own. And I think that's something that a lot of men are, because a lot of men are raised by single mothers nowadays. The father has gotten out of the loop. So you learn you learn from a woman, and it's hard to learn how to be a man from a woman.
See, I one time someone told me there was a situation, and she's like, I'm she had 2 boys. I'm not a man. Like, I don't know these things. And I'm like, girl, you are the perfect person to show this little boy how to be a man and how to treat a woman. So I beg to differ. It is my opinion, of course. It is your job as a woman to make sure your son learns how a woman should be treated, how he should, love her, treat her, talk to her. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't. There's a toughness that a man gives a son. I'm not taking that away. Okay, there's that toughness, right? But what I'm saying is to discount yourself and to think I can't teach my son. I'm sorry, I can't. With that.
How are you going to teach him how to love a woman when there's no one loving her? Or are you going to keep on bringing different dudes in the house, this and that? You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to teach someone without showing them what love is by just watching. Like you said, you learn a lot from watching your parents.
Yes,
so
you do.
If you don't have you can't tell no one, this is how you can tell them, like, open the door for a woman, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but I grew up hearing, don't do as I say. I mean, don't do as I do, do as I say. So I'm sorry. Like, I do believe, like, with like I have a son and he has a dad. Yes. But the funny thing is my son and I talk about a lot of things, and I'm in my head, I'm thinking, why aren't you talking to your dad about that? Like, but he'll come to me and we'll talk about things, and I break it down for him. And it's like, I'm not going to shut him down, go talk to your dad. But I always tell him, this is my point of view. This is what I think. This is how I see it. But go ask your dad. I'm curious. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell him, go, and obviously you'll have a total opposite approach, So I would like to think my kids are getting a balance, you know what I mean? But, I just feel I've heard it too many times, women that are unfortunately single moms, to say, why can't there's obviously things that you can't. I get that. Okay. Teach a boy, you know what I mean, to be a man. But yes, you can. You put Cheerios in the damn toilet and say, aim right there. You know what I mean? Lift up that damn toilet, put a Cheerio, and then you put that toilet back down. I'm sorry, I can. Yes, you can.
No.
Yeah. Okay. No. So, anyways.
I'm sorry, finish your statement.
But I've heard that too much from women, and it's just I don't like that. Don't discredit yourself. You can teach your son not to raise his hand, not to raise his voice. You can teach him how to treat a woman.
Yeah, you teach the etiquette of it. Yes.
Yes.
But to sometimes seeing it is better than just telling.
Yeah, and then I think that comes down to how you're wired too. Because I'm sorry, sure. I'll always go back to, there was 5 kids in my household, and my dad, on all honesty, was really like even Steven for the most part. Okay, yeah, he had his favorites here and there, and he showed it here and there, but like, he taught us all. When it came down to punishment and teaching, that was all the same. Now, how he treated one over the other, that was different, right? But what we all had to learn that lesson. We were all guilty. If one did something bad, we all got he just made that shit fair, right?
Yeah.
But so you have 5 kids in a household that are wired differently, and you'll get 5 different stories coming out of that childhood story.
Yeah.
Because we process the same. You process things differently. You deal with things differently. Like, so.
Yeah. That's, we only have 3, but yeah, we all have the different story on what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Me being the youngest saw a different side.
Mm-hmm.
My older sister, she saw a different side. Mm-hmm. She saw some.
Because we're also different people as parents, right? Like, so my parents were babies having babies, right? Like my mom was 16, my dad was 15. Yeah, no, when they had their first, and I'm their third.
Yeah.
So then by the time I'm third time's a charm, but I got neglected. So then they had 2 more after me. We're all like 2 years apart. Like, it's just so close, But when you think about your first from your third to your 5th, they're different people. So you're not going to have that, but you don't realize that as a kid, right? But still, you're still subjected to certain things, but you are different at those ages. So there's going to be things you remember, or things impact you more than the others. It's just all interesting. I just love, that's a whole different, I think, conversation.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because but you do kind of learn what love is from your parents, and learn what you're supposed to expect. And if you don't see it, you don't understand.
Yeah, it's one or the other. You're either going to take it all in and learn by what you see, or like in my case, and learn what not to do with the one parent. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Right?
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It is, because and to find yourself, you definitely got to break down your sit down and actually be truthful with yourself, and break down your life in general. You know what I'm saying? But when you do, you kind of got to put whatever the past is in the past and kind of drop it and move on. Even though it'll come up again, of course, because it's your life. But you got to kind of put it to the side and
I think you just have to accept it.
Accept it.
That's the thing. Yeah. It's acceptance, right? Like, I had to accept my parents were babies having babies. That took me 25 years to learn that, right? Yeah. And accept that what came with that. Because for many years, I held the shame of their wrongdoing. But it's like that wasn't, I was a child. That wasn't my choice in that.
Yeah.
So I had to let that go. I had to accept it.
And a lot of people, as kids, think it's their fault, and and accepting that it's not. You know what I'm saying? Or so it's a.
Oh no, I was the out of all 5, I think I was the most what's the word? Oh my God, it's escaping me. Oh my gosh, what's that word where I couldn't like you know how you're saying they think it's their fault. Oh no, I had a lot of oh my god, why is that word escaping me? Is it an R word? Oh my god, you guys, this is
I want to say regret. Not regret. I know what you're talking about. It's
oh my goodness, I'm sorry guys, I can't remember this word right now, but it's where oh my, where I have hate or like I have built up like that negativity towards them. Like what is that damn word? Oh my gosh. Oh, I swear it starts with an R. Oh, see, this is my perimenopause. What is that word? I might have to.
I do know what you're talking about,
right?
Yes.
Oh my god, what is that
word? And me and my situation was, I just kind of didn't even deal with it. Just was like, just like a
resentful.
Resentment.
Gosh,
yes.
Sorry guys. Sorry, I knew it. I had resentment. There you go. Sorry.
But where I just didn't even do it, just was like, it is what it is, like, and didn't act like it bothered me until talking to one of the homies one day, and I was like, oh shit, like, because I seen the change in my life at that time. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh shit, like, and I never dealt with it until I was talking to him. I was like, oh shit, man, I got to deal with this because maybe that is the reason why. You know what I'm saying? I'm so cutthroat, you know, just like, you know, because like with me, it's like if you know, as soon as there's that, I'm done. And when I'm done, I'm done. You know, there's no, you know, I can't just sit there and
continue.
Yeah. Like there's no, you know, saying like I said, I'm happy being alone. You know, it's not happy being alone, but I'm content with being alone. Of course, I do want somebody to grow old with, which is, you know, as me getting older, I'm like, hey, you know, I need to find somebody. You know, I want to be in the old folks home, like, hey, what's up? What's up, shawty? Like, you got all your teeth? Oh shit.
I'm sorry, Henry. I don't think that'll ever change about you. I'm sorry. I think you'll always be like that.
Yeah. More like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I am who I am.
So he needs a woman that can handle his charisma.
Yeah. Just accept me for me. You know what I'm saying? And understand that. See the thing, like back in the days, I was always didn't care. You know what I'm saying? I was just like whatever, just playing with whatever. Not playing with them, but I don't know if when you lose somebody that actually loves you and you're trying to find that love again, like when you have someone who actually loves you, like that real love, and you know you lose that, it's tough because you know I did have someone that was like actually truly, you know, was there for me, trying to build me up, was there like that backbone, and the only thing about it was she wasn't strong enough. She would let me walk over her, where I was like, I'm an asshole, so I'm gonna keep on doing it. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I do need someone with the backbone and someone that's gonna stand up and not and call me on my bullshit and don't just, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want a weak woman that I just, you know, that's gonna sit there and even though it sounds nice, but you know, like having someone that just sits there and wait,
be submissive.
Yeah, I want someone who's equal and
that's gonna challenge you.
Yeah, because you know, someone that's I'm just gonna treat her like that, and that's and people just, you know, aren't real or true with their feelings, you know. So I need to find someone who has gone through this same thing where they have lost, and you know, sometimes you got to be your fault that you lost. You know what I'm saying? So you realize that when you find something real, you got to keep it and be real with it. Because if you're not real with your love, with the relationship, like I said, love, I'm saying relationship, that relationship ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna sit there and, you know, try to hit on, you know, try to do the other women. It is what you know what I'm saying. You're not it's gonna be a lost relationship from the start. So so that's what I'm looking for, someone that's just real and accept it for me. I'll accept you for you and have a good vibe. And it is what it is. But it's hard to find that, especially where you're, you know, you're looking at bars and.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, where are you fishing?
And then, you know, I don't go to organized religion, so it's hard to find one of those. And even, you know, they are even sometimes worse because they, you know, whatever.
Yeah, no comment.
I'm not going into that realm just yet, you know. So it is what it is. But it's tough out there.
So
But
what's your philosophy on philosophy?
philosophy,
Oh
yeah.
my God, philosophy on relationship.
A relationship, it's like you said, it's 50-50. It's a two-way street. You gotta, you know what I'm saying, you can't demand something and do nothing. You know, like you can't, you gotta appreciate that person. And you gotta be, like I said, you gotta be real. You gotta be, you know what I'm saying, and it's hard to find that, you know what I'm saying, because of how things are, you know what I'm saying, like everyone's looking, you know what I'm saying, like not satisfied with
Yeah.
what they have. The
Yeah.
grass is always greener on the other
Right,
side.
right.
You always see that, and it's like it's the easiest women to hit on are married women because you know what I'm saying, because they've been together for so long, and then they the men or the women, you know what I'm saying, don't appreciate each other.
Yeah.
They've just been in that same redundant things for so long and don't.
Yeah,
You
I know that to be true, but I just not for me. Like I'm just
No, like I said, it's not all women.
I know. So I have to speak for us women that are it's not
No, there's real women out there
because
that.
I'm
that's
sorry, like you need to love yourself. I don't need a man or relationship or materials to validate me. That's definitely
That
not
is the
me.
key.
You know?
You both gotta love yourself.
Yes.
You gotta love yourself more than anything. You know what I'm saying? That's why
Mm-hmm.
when I say I'm pretty to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, inside and out. I feel. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
of course.
So you gotta be happy, accept who you for you. You know, the higher power has made you the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
Accept it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some people, you know, got a better fucking clay of dough. You know, my clay is good. I'm not. They made my clay right now, but you know what I'm saying. For instance,
But look, no one has it all.
no one has it all.
It's nothing is perfect, right? But oh, okay, you guys, he's thinking he is, but you know,
As close to it as possible.
Okay.
But,
I'm happy you believe that. But it is life is going to be what you make it, right?
Yeah, and life is tough. You know, it can beat you down. You know what I'm saying, and it's the circle you keep around you. You know, sometimes the circle you keep around you, it's not a circle. It's more of a cage. You know what I'm saying? Like it
a prisoner to your demons.
Yeah, and it's a tough one. It's a tough one. You know, like how people because like for me, for instance, since I'm single, sometimes I'm more. I probably will do it more. Try to keep friends around that aren't really friends. You know what I'm saying? That are.
That's shoot.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just because I'm just saying, not saying me, but I'm saying.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
That it, you know, sometimes you don't call it because that's your escape. That's your.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's your.
You're not owning up to it yourself, so.
Well, I'm saying no. I mean, I have. You know what I'm saying? Even in some people, even in their work, you know what I'm saying? You not appreciate your work and you still stay there because, you know what I'm saying?
It's safety net. That's what you know.
Thank you. The safety net. You know what I'm saying? Something that's, you know what I'm saying? You could, that when you need it, sometimes it's there, but, you know, sometimes it's not a good place for you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But, you know, we've talked about this before. There's something holding you back, though. Because you have a lot of potential. You know, you've talked about like on paper, like you look like you look good on paper, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean your skills and experience, right?
Yeah.
So, but then you know you're not pursuing that happiness. Like you're not pursuing what makes.
Well, for you know for job wise, it's hard to make a certain amount of money, then go back to making and building your way up again.
I do understand that.
When you go into like companies, it's sometimes like you can see that there's no the top end is not enough for what I want. You know what I'm saying? I know I got to do for myself. You know what I'm saying? I can't work. I don't think I can work for somebody anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like the job I'm doing right now, working with somebody, not for him.
Right.
But it's not enough for me. You know what I'm saying? I know what I want, and it's just getting to that point with the struggles of the world. It's harder right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, like I said, like I look good on paper, I could get a job anywhere, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not a problem, but will I be happy sitting, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't, it's hard for me to sit in a cubicle again, you know? Like I've been there so, you know what I'm saying, so long, and then working a 9 to 5, and you could earn the same amount of money, you know, doing other things.
Hey, if you are, that's great. But I just feel you sometimes have to sacrifice, right? So like if you want change, you're not happy with something, you have to make change. And sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do or go, you think it's taking a step back, but it's not.
It's not, but it's because you're going to get comfortable with it. Just like if you get with somebody that you're not really happy with, you can get comfortable with it, and you're going to be with that. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's not fulfilling you, you know, mentally, physically, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you'll just, it's the same thing with work. If you're not fulfilled, you sit there and work there, but soon, you know, 1 year is going to turn to 5 years, and you're 10 years, and you're sitting there not progressing in the way that you're supposed to. And I do know where I need to get to, but to get there is kind of the jump. You know, it's there's steps to it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it works. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be afraid to jump into something. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll fail 100% of 100% of the time that you don't try. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not scared to fail. It's so good. You know, so, especially you got safety nets here and there, but. Yeah, career wise, I'm okay. Like I'm cool. Not satisfied where I'm at, but I know I have a plan to get there. You know, I learned don't speak it out loud to certain people, because certain people kind of bring a negativity towards your situation and kind of beat you down and take you out of your stride, what you want to do.
Yeah, I do hear that. They're like, don't speak on it, don't share it, just do it.
Don't put it out in the universe, you know, because everything's listening, and for me, I feel that the universe always took care of me, but sometimes it deters you from getting to the point you need to get to. So I've kind of been silent on telling people my ideas, because every time I do, I always come to an obstacle that's,
interesting,
that fucks it up. So that's where I'm at right now. So but I'm building something right now. I got something though. I got something.
I believe in the power of words, though. So
words are spells. You know what I'm saying? And they affect people very, very. They affect people. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in a situation where, a group of what call friends, and they were like always negative on me, like, oh, this and that, like, call me stupid, call me like everything I did was like, oh, I could have done better, I could have done this and that, and I finally left that situation. And as soon as I left that situation, I went to a different situation, and everyone was so positive, and I felt that lift off my shoulder. Like I felt that was I was like, wow, that was actually really affecting me. People just bringing me down. And I told you, like the soul suckers, people that just like try to, they're not happy with themselves, so they try to take your happiness.
I'm telling you, I always talk about that. Protect your energy, your peace, and your surroundings.
Oh yeah.
Even what you watch, what you listen to, like you got to protect those things, because they do weigh on you.
They do, and it's another and who you're with. You know what I'm saying? Like if the person you're with is not, like you said, it's not helping you progress, helping inspire you. You know what I'm saying? Why are you with them? You know what I'm saying? Why you stay there? You know what I'm saying? So you got to watch all those people that are, don't let them bother you though. Don't let them,
Can't give it life, can't give it energy.
Yeah, just like that. But sometimes letting them slide, it's another weight on you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I should have. But do you meet evil with evil, or do you just ignore evil? Like there's only so many cheeks you could turn. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tricky road. But
yeah. And when it comes to dating, like I said, I don't know where most of the the audience is in life, but I do think that we shouldn't settle. Right? And so I think people are scared of starting over or doing something different. Like they do let that fear hold them back, and they don't think they can have better or do better, so they stay in something that they shouldn't,
But when you have enough, no, I can't say that, but you should know when you had enough, like you should you gotta like it is what it is. Like you gotta like protect yourself. I don't know how, like I said, like people don't. Like I said, I'm pretty like
You'd
to
be
myself.
surprised how like
Yeah,
I think
like
people
people
just stay in it, and it's like that's crazy.
Keep on getting beat down. Like nah,
Verbally,
I'm done.
mentally,
Like
emotionally,
yeah, like you said, you gotta love yourself more than you love anybody else. You know what I'm saying, even my kids, like I love my kids to death, but hey, like I love myself. Even though I would do it, I would die for my kids. I'm sorry, but I still wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like take abuse. Like hell no. Like get you know what I'm saying? But as long as they love me back, we're good. But yeah, you gotta and like with especially with kids, if you show them love, they'll love you back. Like my kids, I know my kids love me, and I'm proud of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For Father's Day, like they came and fucking they just you know what I'm saying you can tell that they love me. You know what I'm saying? Like just in general, they appreciate what I did for them and how I was there for them and was always there for them. And my kids are older, so it's you don't have that to take you don't have to take care of them no more, but you still got to take care of them. Still guide them a little bit, and it's tough. It gets tougher as they get older.
I know. I know. One time someone told me, and it's so true, because there's different stages, obviously, one in parenthood, right? She's like, I can't say it gets easier or harder. It just gets different.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, was she ever right? It just gets different, right?
It does.
Like,
it does.
yeah.
Especially, I mean, teenage years are tough, but when they get older, like, because you're so worried about them, getting into their flow, you know what I'm saying? And especially these kids these days are so
oh my God, I know, I'm scared.
sensitive, dude. They're so sensitive.
I'm so
scared. You can't say certain things. They got to walk on eggshells around them because they have feelings like what feelings
that consumes them. I know.
And
I know. I'm just concerned because, obviously I've shared before, I've been working since I was 12 years old. And as soon as I turned 16, or right before, whatever, I started working at Burger King. Never stopped after that, and I always had a job lined up. One time I did quit on the spot because I'm young and I was a hothead. And the manager just pissed me off, said something so rude and ridiculous. I'm like, you know what? I don't need this shit. I fucking quit. And I quit. I went home. My dad's like, what the? You don't do that. Do you have a job to back that up? I'm like, what the hell? I'm 16. Like, who cares, right? Oh, no. I went out and got another job. And after that, I always had another job lined up before, But what was my point in that? I had a point in that. Oh, so what I did at my age, thank you. What I did at my age, my kids can't do that. Like I was 18 with my own apartment. You know what I mean? I was working, going to college. Like they can't do that nowadays on $20 an hour and inflation's so high. So I am concerned.
Yeah, especially where we live at, LA's ridiculous. Yeah, that'll be the next one. Talk about this California place.
Exactly, that's another episode.
But the same thing with me. Like I was, 19, earning like 35 a year, and didn't do the right things with the money because 19. I was done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But never had a problem, with the job thing. Now it's just my ego. I don't know what it is.
I think it is your ego.
It is. I mean,
and I think that it's not to be funny. It's also with relationships.
It is. I'm very
because you want so much from that partner.
And you
do. I know you do.
And I'm not patient anymore.
No.
I'm just like if it's I can see it quick. Like if it is or if it isn't. But I need to give a chance. I think give stuff a chance. But
yep. You gotta try it to know it, right?
Because like I said, I don't make good first impressions usually, but sometimes be patient and maybe that's not there. Maybe they make good first impression, but they're second. And like we say, you don't. People don't show up their true selves to you, until, like you said, like you never know a woman until you move in with her. And even then, people have that mask up, saying, who are you really? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to, pretty much in who I am from the get go. I don't hide anything. You know what I'm saying? I try not to. Maybe I do, but not as much. I'm pretty upfront and like, yeah, this is me. Because, like I said, I'm happy with me.
That's good. That's good.
So
That's good.
I'm willing to get myself out there, but it's hard to, it's hard to do. To put yourself out there like that to so many people. But so that's why I'm in the situation I am, where I'm singling and mingling and just having a good time.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Okay. Do you have any other philosophies you'd like to share?
Let me see here. A couple of things like we were talking about, like happiness comes from within.
Mm-hmm.
Do not seek it outside. So you never can find happiness from someone else. You always got to find happiness in yourself.
Exactly.
And let's see here. There's a couple of things like there are plenty of ways to die, but only love can kill you and keep you alive to feel it.
Oh, wow.
So
that's deep.
Yeah, because it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's true. You know what I'm saying? Because love hurts. You know what I'm saying? And it's a constant feeling in it.
But it's worth the ride, isn't it? You gotta live.
It is, but like I said, like a lot of people don't know how to love and know what love is. So
yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So I mean, if you find it, great, but it's hard to find. You know what I'm saying? And you can mask it and say it is what it is, but a lot of people say I love you real quick.
I know.
It's like nah. Like you gotta like a extreme. I love you extreme. More than words, you gotta show me it. You gotta,
remember the 5 love languages.
Oh yeah.
And act of service is mine.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
And it was funny because in my relationship, my husband was the first to say that, and I said, "Thank you." And he's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "What?" And I said, "I can't. Like, I'm not. Like, it takes me." I'm too guarded of a person.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, like we met when I was 22, so I'm 44 now.
Yeah, and just in life in general, the one thing I would like to say is today, like this is how people got to think. Like today, I'm making the decision to let go of the things that don't make me happy. I am letting go happily.
Oh.
Like you got to just let and be happy with the decision you make and be in your own, you know what I'm saying? Like, and love yourself. And,
I love that.
Who's
that life coach here? I love that.
Yeah, there's so many things that you just gotta
let go
and just be happy with your life. You know what I'm saying? And searching for somebody is not the happiness, but when you find that somebody, hold on to it. Because like I said, I let that happiness go a long time ago, and I never felt that love like that person loved me. So, and I'm always trying to search for that love, that feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that feeling that how it made me feel, because it makes you feel special when you're loved. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like just tell me you love me. Fuck that. It's show me, make me feel it, because I know what it feels like. So, ladies, love me. Love me for reals, not just for just not because I'm pretty.
Oh boy. So on that note, keep pushing, keep shining, keep thriving.